In this video, I want to show you how to create your own community on any WordPress website. This could be on an existing website or even a brand new website. Now, I'm running a community on my own website called Divi University. So as you can see here, it has more than 750 members, and this has been growing daily, which is fantastic. So how this works is they can click here to join now, and this will take them through a basic registration process, and then they'll be added as a member. Now, once they're in there as a member, they will be able to go in and chat, share ideas and ask questions and so on. So as you can see here, we can see that all these members are posting all their messages. And when I scroll down here, it's all endless. I mean, there's just so much work that's happening here. Sometimes if I need to post a video, I can just post it in here. And I can also add some links over here to the left for different communities. So you can actually have what are known as spaces, for example, within your actual website. So here I have a private group here for anyone that has bought SiteKrafter. Here I have a normal Divi community. You can see it has 13,000 people. Here I also have a VIP for lifetime members. And I also have a Fluent community here for anyone that purchases Fluent community. So as you can see, you can build unlimited spaces, which means that your website is going to be robust and it is full of features. Now, not only that, we can also go in and create courses which are targeted to specific communities. And creating courses is very, very easy. Over here on the left, you can also add more spaces, and you have a lot to go in and customize here. Here's the courses tab. Now, this is a course I'm actually working on. It's not live yet, but as you can see here, it is very, very easy to set up. You also have a list of members here that you can take a look at. You can block some members and the block list will be here. Thank God I haven't blocked anyone here. Everyone is behaving. We also have a leaderboard, which will show you the most active users on the platform, and they will get a badge on their side here, which is also fantastic. So as you can see, there is quite a lot of things that you can do with a community that you build yourself on your own WordPress website. Now, so you may be asking, what's the point of a community? Well, we have Facebook groups, and these Facebook groups really are a totally different website. So the experience is not very good if you want to build this for your clients. Yes, I know it's free, but this is a dedicated system which has full control for the client or even for yourself. So this is why I highly recommend that you go with this. So the tool that we're going to be using is called Fluent Community. So let's go ahead and let's start working on this. So over here, I have a basic website that I've created called My Tennis Club. So this could be any type of website. So to install this, you want to come over here to your dashboard, and then you want to install the free plugin first. So you're going to come over here to plugins and then click on add new plugin. Next, we want to search for Fluent Community. So let's go ahead and do that. And by the way, you don't have to use this with a specific page builder. This pretty much works with any page builder. It is fantastic. So you can see here, this has already got 3,000 active installations, and it's almost 5-star, which is really, really good. It means it's been tried and tested and it is working really, really well. Next, let's go ahead and click on install now to install the basic version. Now, bear in mind that this version does not have full features, but it is definitely functional. Okay, so let's go ahead now and activate. So now that it's activated, it's going to give us a process to go through to make it work. So you can see here, this is Fluent Community. Okay, so with that now, you're going to get an entry over here on the left. So all you need to do is to click on it, and this will kickstart the whole process of setting up Fluent Community. But you know what? I'm not going to waste time setting up this community with limited features. I want to go right away and install the Pro version, which has all the features that we need. And I highly recommend that you go with the Pro version. All right, so to get the Pro version, you want to head over to this website here. It's called fluentcommunity.co. So in my case, I've already, and by the way, there's an early bird discount here. You can actually get an unlimited offer taking this lifetime license. So as you can see here, we have a single license, five site license, and so on. So if you're someone who is a design agency and you'd like to create this for your customers, you can actually charge more for having this complete setup for them. It is very, very powerful. Anyway, so let's go ahead now and let's start working on this. So the first thing I need to do is to add my other plugin. So I'm going to come over here and click on add new plugin before I can actually go in and do all that. So let me just close out of here like that. So I need to click on upload because I've already gone ahead and downloaded it. So now I'm going to say choose file. Next, here it is. All I need to do here is to double click it and then click on install now. So as you can see now, this is the advanced version or the pro version. I'm going to go ahead and activate. And now that it's activated, pretty much I am good to go. So again, I'm going to come back over here to Fluent Community, click on that, and then I can now go ahead and customize this. But before I do that, we actually need to go in and add our license. And that is very, very important. So let's just go through this whole process here. So I'm going to leave this as my tennis club. And then the link here for the portal, I'll leave it as it is as portal. Okay. But you can rename this to community if you want to. So let's go ahead and click on next. So for the setup process here, again, it gives us this wizard, which is very, very easy to use. I can just go with basic here, click on continue. And then you can see here it has my name. In fact, let me just change my name here to Mac. Okay, so subscribe to feature updates. Okay, I don't need to do that right now, so I'm just going to disable that. Okay, so you can see there's quite a few things that are mentioned here. You don't really have to worry about this too much because all these are just extra features. For example, this will help you with automating all your users and also setting up your email system. Okay, and here, if you want everyone to have access to the main portal, you can leave it as everyone for the public and then only logged in users. So you have a choice how you want to run this. So if it's a church, for example, and you want people to be communicating just within the community and they need to be members, then they have to log in first. But if you want it open for everyone else to see, coming to the whole public, pretty much it's up to you. So you have this choice of doing it that way. All right, so I'm going to say save and publish. And now this is going to get us ready to have our community all started up. Okay, so this is where we get the opportunity to go in and add our license. So I'm going to click here on license management, and this is where I need to paste my license. Okay, so as I mentioned, setting up your license here is very, very important because this is how you're going to get all your updates. Okay, so now I've activated my license. I can now go back to settings. All right, so we have a few things that we can do here. We have our portal settings, we have our customization, advanced features, manage courses, documentation, and so on. So for this, I'm going to go to my portal settings and start with that. So here, the first thing I'd like to highlight is we have dark mode and light mode. This is really, really awesome. So to change that, you just come over here to the top and now we are in light mode. So over here, we can add our logo. We can add our logo for dark mode. And then over here, we can also add our open graph image. So there's a few things that we can do here. So I'm just going to go in and add an image. So let me look for something that I can add, which is tennis related. Okay, those are my thumbnails. Okay, so I need to download some images. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use a website called Pexels. This is where I normally get all my images. I really thought I had some images on my computer, but anyway, that's fine. I'm going to go to pexels.com and I'm just going to search for tennis here like that. And I need a nice image. Anyway, you know what? For the purposes of this, I'm just going to choose this image right here. I'm going to select that. And then I'm just going to download a 1920 by 1280. Now, I know I need a specific size over here to set it all up. But you know what? I'm just going to go in and add my image. And here it is. Double click on that. And now I have my image. I know it's going to be cropped, but it's okay. We don't want to waste too much time cropping it to 1200 by 630. But in your case, go ahead and set it up to the right size. Okay. portal settings. So do we want this open to everyone or only logged in users? I'm going to leave it for everyone to see. And then here we also have a login and sign up form. So we can actually specify a page for that. And we have a URL here, which is brilliant. So how about we go ahead and do that? I'm going to hit copy here. And then I am going to now set this up. So ideally, you know what would be nice is if I can go quickly to my dashboard, but it's okay. I'm just going to copy this link like that. And then I'm going to paste it in here. So this now will give me access to go to my dashboard. Okay, great. So now that I'm in my dashboard here, I just need to go and copy this code again. So this is going to be our default login URL. So I'm going to copy that. And then back over here on our site, I'm going to create a brand new page. So I'm going to come over here to pages and then click on add new. Okay, so the page is going to be called login. Okay, how about that? Okay, I'm going to say publish. Now I intentionally did this using the free theme, which is called Astra. Okay, just to show you that you can use this with any page builder. All right, so I have my page now. I'm going to go back over here and let's go to our menu. So I'm going to go to appearance, menus, and we are going to add the login page. And here it is. So let's add it over here to the menu. So if we wanted, we could actually create a link and then just give it that URL to take a look at it. In fact, you know what? I need to do this in incognito mode so that you can see how this works. Okay, do you see that? So this is the link here to our login page. So it is very, very easy and it's all designed for us. We can actually add an image here if we wanted to, but this is login to my tennis club. So we can actually create a link. In fact, we don't need this page anymore. In fact, let's leave it open. It's fine. Okay, so we can actually assign the page, or this is how we can do this. So we can go in and, or in fact, let's create a brand new one called sign in case you want to use the specific link. So all you need to do is to come over here to custom links. This is the URL, and then we can say sign in. Okay, add to menu. So this is our sign in case you do not want to use the login. Okay, so let's just remove this for now like that. And I've already set my custom link here, so you can see the link is in there, which is fantastic. I'm going to save. So now when we take a look at our site, let's head over here and click on visit site. We should have our sign in. So you see here the sign in. If we click that, right now it takes me to my portal because I am already logged in. So, but if you take a look at that link from a incognito window, you're going to see the login page. Anyway, let's continue on. So I've created this now. That's fine. Here we have our sign up. Okay, so this could be a become a member. Okay, so this is where people want to sign up. So again, I'm going to copy this link right here. Let's head over back to our site. We go back to our dashboard. And this time it's going to be sign up. You can assign this to this button there if you want to say sign up on the button there. It's pretty much up to you because the link we're going to use is pretty much the same. All right, so let's head over now and create another link by going to menus. And this time is going to be sign up. So this again is going to be a custom link. I'm going to paste my URL like that. And then I'm going to say sign up. Okay. Or you can call this become a member. So pretty much it's up to you how you want to word this. Okay. So now that I have this, I'm going to hit save. Okay. So my menu is now saved. Let's take a look. So we need to open this, click on visit site. There we go. Now we have become a member. So again, this will not work because I am logged in already. So let's copy this URL and let's take a look at this in incognito window. So there we go. I'm going to paste my link here for my site. And now if I click on become a member, here's what happens. Registration disabled for this community. Okay, that is because I haven't enabled it. So this is also part of my setup. Okay, so let's go back to our general settings here. So you can see we have our portal settings here. And then we have enable user registration via Fluent community sign up. this is what we need to activate. Okay, if we activate that, that means that everything is now going to work because we've allowed our registration to happen. So now if I refresh this, then this should work. So I'm just refreshing that and there we go. So now they have to go in and enter their full name, email address, username, account password, and so on. Once they've done with that, pretty much they'll be signed up onto our system. Or if they already have an account, they also have the opportunity to log in here. And this now has taken them to the login form. So as you can see, the process is very, very straightforward. I mean, it's very easy to set up. All right, so let's save our settings here. And by the way, remember I mentioned that you can actually customize your login and sign up forms. So you can actually come over here, and this is where you can even go a bit creative. So our form here, if we click on that, you can see it says log into my tennis club. So this is what you can change if you wanted to. I'm going to leave this as it is because there isn't really much to change. And also we have the sign up. So sign up to my tennis club. Again, you can do that here. And over here, we can also make customizations to the banner itself. Okay, so if you click on this eye icon, it's going to take away the banner here, but we want to keep it on. But if I click this now, I can actually upload an image. And let's go with the image that I've just downloaded. And let's see how it's going to look. So there we go. We have our little image here for our logo. But to be honest, I don't want to add a logo like that. I'd rather come over here to the design and then click on upload image and then add this image like that. I mean, this is going to make the whole login process look much, much better. And this, to be honest, I'm sure you can agree with me that this looks much, much nicer. So as you can see, we have a lot of customizations here for our community. And by adding this image on our registration form or on our login form, it just makes everything look really, really nice. So this is the power of Fluent community. Okay, so we can also further go in and change our text here. So right now we can see that our text here is very difficult to read. We can change that and give it a different, pretty much a different text color. So here's our title color. We can do that and now we can read it. But to be honest, I don't think it's going to be necessary to have that. I'll rather have just the image. So what I would do in that case is to remove the text altogether. Boom, just like that. And now I have an image. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time here. I'm just going to hit save changes and then I'm going to go back. In fact, I can remove this as well if I wanted to. All right, so let's go back to our settings and continue on. Now we also have more things that we can go in and customize here. So let's go ahead and let me show you. I can also come to customize colors here. And this is where I can go in and start making changes to our colors. So they are ready-made colors for me here. This is Sunset Sands. We also have Blue Ocean. There's a few that we can, choose from. But if you want to add your own custom colors, you can also do that by coming over here. So as you can see here, I can go in, add my background color, text link, and so on. But you know what? I'm not going to spend too much time here. Otherwise, this video is going to take way too long. We also have colors here for the sidebar. We also have colors for the general. So it's highly customizable. And we can also do the same for dark mode. We can go in and customize our colors here. So you can see here, if we choose that, it now has a different bright color there. And we can go with this one. So if there's a slight change, but I'm sure you can see as I'm cycling through this that it is actually changing. Okay, look at that. Actually, I really like that for my dark mode. So I'm going to leave that as it is. Okay, next I'm going to click on Save Settings here on the bottom. And back here on the light mode, I'm just going to stay default. Okay, in fact, you know what? Well, how about we go with Ocean Blue? All right, so now that we have this, we can now hit Save Changes. So that's something we can do. Next, we also have our spaces here. So this is where we can go in and define the spaces that we need. So for example, let's say I want to add a totally new space. I can click here on create new space. And I want this to be a discussion space. So I'm going to go to next. And then I'm just going to call this senior tennis. It's my spelling here. Okay, let's call this a senior tennis group. Okay, the slug here is optional, but I'm just going to copy that and just paste this, add that as my description. Okay, next we have our privacy here. If we want this logged into just the seniors only, we can set this to private, but we can also keep it as a secret here, or we can leave it open to the public. So it's pretty much up to us how we want to set this up. So I'm going to leave that as private. And then over here, it says menu group. So I'm going to come over here and choose which menu group I want. So I can choose get started if I want to, but I'm just going to leave this as it is. Now, who can view space members? I'm going to say members only and then hit continue. Okay, so now we also have a few more things. Only admin or moderators can create posts. Again, that's a choice that you may want to do. Show right sidebar on space. Again, that is something that you can do if you wanted to, or you can hide the members count. So as you can see, there's quite a lot here that we can actually set up. Next, we also have the ability to add an image here. So I'm going to go in and add. I'm just going to add my same image here. I'm just being lazy. We also have a featured image here. It's optional, but we don't have to add that. Okay, so we can now go in and hit create. And now we have our space. So if I come back here, there we go. We have our senior tennis group. I mean, isn't that awesome? So as you can see, it's very, very easy to use and very easy to set up. So now I can click on view space and you can see now people can start chatting and I can start, posting. So I'm going to say hello team, for example, and then I'm going to say this is my first message. Okay. Now the cool thing here as well is I can add an image here. I can embed a video. I mean, there's so much I can do. So there we go. I can even go in and add some emojis to go with that. So I'm going to add a smiley one. Look at that. I want to hit post. Now, what I can also do here is I can also create a poll. I can come over here and then I'm going to say how many days per week should we train? Okay. So I'm going to leave that as a question mark. And then here, my first choice is going to be Monday. And then here is, this can be how many days a week? Okay, let's put once. And then here we're going to say twice. I'm going to add more. And this one here is going to be 3 times. How about that? Okay, so that's our poll. I can post this. Why is there an error? Okay, I'm going to say please vote. And then I'm going to now say post. Now you can see we have our poll. See that? So as people are voting here, it will show us the percentages. And this is really, really cool. So this is a true community which has pretty much all the features that you need to create a robust community. So far, I'm sure you can agree with me that this is really, really awesome. Okay, now let's continue on and see what else we can do. Okay, so over here is where you would see a list of all your members and their latest activity. Okay. If you want to search, you can come over here and search for anything within the community and you can actually choose here. Again, you can choose from the comments as well. So I'm going to say post and see what comes up. Nothing comes up. Okay. So if there was quite a lot of information here, it will actually show. Okay. So this is going to be your main feed. So this is what everyone else will see. Now, when it comes to the side panel here, we can also go in here and customize this. Look at that. So I can choose a space or a course. So let's take a look at the courses here. So you notice what I've just done here on the get started. This is also a quick way to create a space. So this time it's going to be a course. I'm going to go next and then I'm going to give this a course title. So I'm going to say tennis for beginners. Okay. And there's a slug there that's being asked for. I'm going to copy this and paste my slug in here. And then I'm just going to add this as the description as well. Okay, so here's where things get really exciting. So privacy here, I can leave it as public, or I can leave it as public or private or even secret. Okay, next over here on the menu group, I'll just leave it at the get started, which is this menu group here. But of course I can create another menu group if I wanted to. Enrollment type, self-paced. I think that's good enough, but I can set it as a structured or scheduled. Okay. So right now there's 2 options, either published or draft. So I can actually publish it here and pretty much we are good to go. Disable comments. We can do that as well. Hide students count from courses page. No, I don't want to do any of that. So I'm going to upload my image here for my course. Again, you know how lazy I am. I'm going to use the same old picture. Hit create, and there we go. Now it's time to add all our lessons. So to add our lessons, all I just need to do is to, first of all, create a section. So I'm going to call this Get Started, like that. Hit save, and now I can add a lesson. So this could be lesson 1, like that. Add and edit. So for lesson 1, I can actually go in and paste a URL from YouTube, Wistia, Vimeo, and so on. So let's just test this by just grabbing a link from YouTube. Preferably it needs to be my own videos. How about that? So we're going to go to our studio here, and I'm going to choose this one right here. In fact, let's go to content, and then let's go to this one. Copy the URL from here, and then we're going to come back and paste the URL like that. Click on embed. So that is my first lesson. Okay. On the bottom here, there's also quite a lot we can do. So this is where the text can go. So let's call this is where you can see why I hate typing, where the text goes. I'm not very good at typing, by the way. All right. So that's where the text goes. So the cool thing about this is you can go in and you can make things bold. You can add a link. So for example, here, let's say that's a link. You can see it's now showing. We can add paragraphs, headings, and so on. So there's quite a few we can do in here. And on the bottom here, if we need to upload any files that goes with this lesson, we can always click here on upload, and this will upload all your files. So let's say, do I have a zip file here? Yes, here it is. So let's say that's part of the program. I'm going to upload that, and then I can go ahead and save. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what does this lesson look like? So if we click on this little eye icon here on the top right corner, it will show us our lesson, and look at that. This is my lesson 1. And when I scroll down here, we have a discussion, and this is the file that we need that goes with this. Isn't that really cool? Okay, here we also have an option to complete the complete the lesson. So if we click on that, in fact, I'm not enrolled in, so that won't work. And the list of all my lessons is going to be over here on the right, which is brilliant. Look at that, lesson 1, and so on. Okay, over here, we also have any attachments, and this is the discussion. And we have this option where we can get rid of everything here on the sides. And this gives us more screen real estate for me to go through my lessons. So again, if I click it, it brings everything back. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Brilliant. Okay, so now that I have my lesson here, let's go back to our courses, and my courses are going to be listed like this. So at any point, if I need to view, I can just view my course from here, and there's my lesson 1. Okay, if I need to enroll in this, I can just click on enroll. And you know what? Now I am enrolled, which means I can actually view all the lessons. So my progress is going to be shown here as I'm completing my course and so on. So here's my lesson 1. Now I can go ahead and say complete lesson. Oops. Okay, so lesson is not published yet. Okay, I know why this is not working. I was about to start panicking. So the course itself and the lesson needs to be published first for this to work. So it's not published because I'm still working on it. All right, so back over here now, you can see how easy it is to create your courses. And as I mentioned, all the courses are going to be listed over here. So you can list as many courses as you want. Now let's continue on, and let's head over here to our settings. So here we have quite a lot of things to add or customize and so on. So look at this. So far, we've gone through this. We have our customizations. We can enable sticky page header across the portal. We can show an icon here on the top. So rich media, post layout. There's a lot we can do here. Look at all this. All right. Now, for those of you that want to really customize the look and feel of this, and you know your CSS and HTML, you can actually add your CSS code in here and also add your JavaScript in here. Now, let's say you want to have managers. You can actually add your managers here by coming over here to the top and then clicking on Add Manager. So for the managers here, you have to select someone who's already existing on the system, and then you can give them a title. So this could be a community admin, all access, or if you want to give them specific access to just the course admin, they just take care of the courses. That's fine. Or space moderator. I mean, it's up to you how you want to add the manager, but the option is absolutely there. We also have email settings. So these are your basic emails that come with Fluent Community. So you can go in and customize your from name. So in this case, this could be from Mac. I can add a valid email address here, a reply to email address. I mean, you know how this works. Next, we also have our features and add-ons. I mean, here we have our leaderboard, which I've shown you, but we can also add things like this Giphy module. We can also add our media. We can also add Fluent Community Chat. Now, for me, I think this is really powerful because this allows your community members to chat amongst themselves. So if there's anything they need to talk about, the chat system is going to be there and it's in real time, which is also brilliant. So we can install this Fluent Chat. I mean, it's an addition. And again, you don't have to pay extra for that. It's absolutely free. Next, we also have Fluent Forms. So if you want to have forms in here, we can also add Fluent Forms, and this will be installed again easily. Okay, so it has been installed. If you want to make payments and you want to charge for your community, we also have Paymatic over here. So we can install Paymatic as well. If you want a support system, you can also add this help desk called Fluent Support. So as you can see here, these recommended plugins are in addition to add more functionality. And I mean, this just makes the whole system just robust and complete. And I really, really like this. Okay, let's move on. Over here, you can manage topics. So we can start adding all our topics here and assign where this topic needs to go. So for example, here, I'm just going to say tennis basics. Okay. So the slug again, I'm just going to copy this and paste it like that. So now we can choose our spaces where we want this tennis basics topic to be. So I can add it on start here, and pretty much only admins and moderators can select the topic. I mean, it's up to you how you want to set it. I'm going to hit save. Here we have our space and groups. So this is where we have our start here. We have our tennis for beginners. So again, if you want, you can drag this to the top. So you can rearrange this the way you want. If you want to delete this, I'm not sure if I can delete this because there's something on it. Let's take a look here. I think we can. So if you want to delete, you can go ahead and delete. And this say hello. I mean, this came by default with Fluent Community. Again, if you want to delete that, we can just say, yes, delete the space. And again, I can just delete it. But of course, I'm going to leave it as it is because maybe this say hello, it will be a good introduction to our community. Okay, great. Here we also have our menu settings. So the menu here is also important. It just makes things easier for people to navigate around your website. And I'll show you where these menus are. So if I refresh this, now do you notice here at the top, we have our portal settings. If we were going to go back to home, these are the links that I'm talking about: the space, courses, members, and leaderboard. This is here, sports, spaces, courses, leaderboard, and so on. These are the links that I'm talking about. But if you want to add a private one, you can also do that by giving it a name here and the link. Now, what I usually like doing here is to add my home link. So I would actually copy this URL here like that, and then I'll paste it, and then I'm just going to say home. That way it makes it easier for me to go to my home page. Here you can select your emojis. There's shapes to choose from. So if you want to add a custom SVG, you can do that as well. So it's pretty much up to you how you want to set this up. All right, so I'm going to save. And now when I come over here and refresh, you're going to notice that we now have home. So if I click on that, it takes me to my home page. Okay, pretty cool. Now, I know it's not in the right position because it's all the way to the right, and I don't want that. So I can drag it all the way to the top like that. and then hit save changes. Next, we also have content moderation. So if we enable content moderation, we can flag things based on what people are saying. So if you want to get rid of those swear words, you can always go in here and add. So here we have the settings. So bad words, you can add all your bad words here. And I don't want to type anything here. So let's say good was a bad word. You can just add it here, click on update, and that has been configured. So anytime the word good is added, you will see a report over here. We also have our privacy settings here. Who can view all members page? I mean, there's a lot to go in and customize here. It's just going to depend with your organization. Next, we also have access management. So this is only in use if you're using Fluent CRM. And I highly recommend you use Fluent CRM because this is what is going to manage all the automation and so on. So as you can see here, we can go in and map everything via the tags, but this is an advanced option. So I will have a separate tutorial going through Fluent CRM and Fluent Community. All right, so we also have incoming webhooks here. For those of you who are advanced and you'd like to connect Fluent community or your community with some webhooks, you can also add your webhooks by coming over here, and that will work great. Okay, moving on. We also have our analytics here. So if you click on analytics, this is going to give us an idea of how our membership is actually performing. So as people are logging in and signing up and so on, you can see everything over here. So we can also get to see your members. We can get to see what's happening with your spaces as well. So as you can see, this is a super powerful way of creating your own community on your own website. Now, my main worry with this when I first installed it on my website, I was worried about the speed of my site, if this was going to slow down my website. And you know what? It is super fast. It's unbelievable. In fact, right now on Divi Community, it is working really well and I have no complaints whatsoever. I mean, it is working flawlessly. So when I go to my feed here, I mean, everything is just snappy. I mean, it just works. So I really love the fact that I can just go in here, and everything is working fine. And this community is growing. And my suggestion is, if you're a freelancer, go ahead and find clients who are likely going to want this community, and you can offer them to build this community for them and charge quite a bit of money and manage it as well. So this is something which was quite difficult to do a few years ago. The only option that we had when it came to communities was either a system which was not actually on your website. So for example, we would have Facebook groups. So we'd manage groups separately. I mean, I've tried it. It didn't work for me and I've just pretty much left it. So this is why I created this community on my own website and I'm loving it so far. I would highly recommend you head over to the Fluent community link, which I'll add in the video description below. Go ahead, check this out and grab this lifetime license, because this deal is going to go very, very, very soon. And once it's gone, the team over at Fluent Community is going to just go back to the annual pricing, which is pretty much not what you want, because with the lifetime license, you can get lifetime updates, lifetime support, and you get all these features included. So this is definitely what you want. If you see that it's a bit pricey, what you can do is you can choose a pay monthly option, which is $100 per month for 10 months, or you can just pay it one time, $9.49. To be honest, in my case, usually when there is a product that I really like and it has a very high price tag, what I usually do is I just go for the split payment, and that way it's more manageable, because I can understand why $9.49 will be quite a lot of money to pay in one go. But of course, if you can, that would be a great idea. Just pay it and you're good to go. Now, the reason why I'm also highly recommending Fluent Community, this is the team behind Fluent Forms, Fluent CRM. I actually use Fluent CRM. It is amazing. I mean, I've been using it for a couple of years now. There was a time where I just thought, you know what, maybe there'll be a moment where I'm not going to like this, but it has saved me a lot of money when it comes to email marketing. So go ahead, try it out. The link to that is in the video description below. And if you do have any challenges installing it, I'm here to help you as well. So I'm just adding in that because, of course, if you're going to be using my affiliate link, that's also my form of appreciation. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.